I think every one of us has heard about the fact of chimpanzees and bonobos. They share many similarities with humans. For example, 99% of their DNA is similar like humans. And also, chimpanzees behave like humans. They build friendship upon trust. They fake each other, they manipulate each other to gain power in their society. Scientists say that we have the same ancestors with chimpanzees. And in other words, they are our cousins. Now let me ask you a question. Do you believe that chimpanzees are our cousins? In other words, do you accept the evolution? Let me see your hands. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, we have many yes. Great, thank you. In fact, the scientists accept evolution as a fact, not a theory right now. In 21st century, it's many times, we have understood many times that evolution is now a fact. Because a theory is an ongoing process to explain something, explain the findings and trying to figure out cause and effect type of relationships. But for evolution, right now, it's a fact. Okay, we have many yes here in this room, but let's check if our country have the same opinion. In recent years, there's a survey made in European Union countries, including US and Japan as well. And the figures are, the public acceptance of evolution for Turkey is 25%. For most of the countries, especially northern countries of Europe, has a ratio of 75. So there's a big gap between our country and European countries. Most of the Turkish people do not accept evolution. About 52% of public. So we need an evolution as well, as you see, in our country. There are some, of course, some daily experiences. Maybe you have, I have, coincidences with this fact. For example, 2 months ago, I got on a taxi, and suddenly the taxi accelerated the car, and there was a pedestrian crossing the street, and the driver was heading towards the pedestrian, and we were about to hit the pedestrian. And I understood that he did this on purpose, because while we were passing him, on the right window, the driver said, "You animal!" I don't understand the reason, but he was very angry. And after that, I told the driver, suddenly I told him, "Ah, sir, you believe in evolution, don't you?" He's surprised, frustrated, did not understand anything. And I explained to him, "You said him animal, and I understand that you believe that a man can turn into an animal. Then you probably believe that an animal can turn into a man as well. So you do believe evolution, don't you?" He's surprised again. He didn't understand, so after a while of some conversation, he said that I only believe in Adam and Eve. So this is the creationist approach. Also, there are some guys in our country believing in the evolution of the species, but not the humans. That's another fact. So, in history of science, there are lots of examples, not for today's, this is not the today's problem. For example, think about Copernicus. About 600 years ago, he said that Earth is orbiting around the sun. Till that time, it was accepted that the sun and the other planets were orbiting around the Earth. So it was they believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and Copernicus changed it. And after Copernicus, Galileo was punished by the church, saying that Earth was orbiting. And maybe you heard the name, Mr. Giardino Bruno. We can remember him as Bruno. Bruno has sentenced to death. The church has burned him. He was dead. Because he said that Earth is orbiting. And in 20th century, for example, another one is, as we know, Albert Einstein. He's a genius. In the beginning of the 20th century, there was the phenomenon of quantum mechanics. But Albert Einstein really objected quantum mechanics. And he was against the scientists, and he felt alone, proving that quantum mechanics is an absurd thing, it's not a scientific theory, and he objected quantum mechanics. And he tried to find another alternative approach other than quantum mechanics. And he fought with the other scientists in his last 30 years. After his death, quantum mechanics is now widely accepted in the scientific community. You see, even in 20th century, there are always some opinions changing after scientific discoveries. So, in general, we push the information if it threats our belief system. When a new information comes, we can push it or we can pull it. Generally, we push the new one if it threats our belief system, and we pull the information when it fits our beliefs. We can say that we do believe what we want to believe. So, speaking again about the condition of the Turkey and the Western civilized countries, there's a big gap there. Since they live in utopia, we live in Middle East, there are some problems here. And I think in near future, I hope that in near future we will close this gap. Our hope. And guess what? I asked my son, my 12-year-old son, the same question. Asking him, do you believe the evolution, my son? And he said that, oh God, I believe that God created the soil and the water, like it's written in the Quran, but I think that the rest of it is the evolution. So he accepts the creationism and the evolution at the same time and merge the two ideas. And right now I have a little hope for our country to close the gap.